Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Journey to Greatness. Day 352 of 365 with David McDonald, the GOAT. All right, everybody. We're going to get into our meditation routine. I will see you all on the other side. All right, everybody, welcome back. So we are going to continue with our reading here. Good morning, Miss Miner. Good morning, Al. Happy Tuesday. So we're going to continue with our reading routine, and I will see you all on the other side. It's a very good lesson. All right, my friends, welcome back. So we just finished our reading routine, and now we're getting into our journaling routine. So I will see you all on the other side. All right, my friends, welcome back. Morning, Liz. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so we finished our fifth journal. And as we come to a close, I'm not 100% sure if I want to start another one yet, but we did just finish our fifth one today, which is exciting. And so all the ideas, all of the genius, all of the plans, all of the wishes yet again, are all bestowed upon these journals. Days and days and days of, man, it's pretty wild, but huge achievement, say the least. All right, so in our book today, we're going to finish the last two laws of gold, and then we're going to talk about a little bit about the gold lender in Babylon. So last time we left off, we were reviewing again the third law of gold. So gold clingeth to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling. Gold indeed clingeth to the cautious owner, even as it flees the careless owner. The man who seeks the advice of men wise in the handling of gold soon learneth not to jeopardize his treasure, but to preserve in safety and to enjoy it in contentment, its consistent increase. The fourth law of gold: gold slippeth away from the man who invests it in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar or which are not approved by those skilled in its keep. And the fifth law of gold is gold flees the man who would force it to impossible earnings or who follow it the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers, or who trusts it in his own inexperience and romantic desires in investment. Okay, so we've covered the five laws of gold. Those are the last three, but just to review, the first two were: gold cometh gladly and in increasing quantity to any man who will put by not less than 1/10 of his earnings to create an estate for his future and that of his family. And the second law of gold is: gold laboreth diligently and contentedly for the wise owner who finds for it profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks of the field. So in other words, invest your money, save your money, and gold will favor you. Trust your money in people who are tricksters, and you shall, and gold shall flee you. Gold shall leave you if you try to invest in businesses that you don't understand, or the people that you're working with in that business are not fluent or fluid in what they do. And gold sticks to people who are cautious about their investments and who seek for understanding in terms of finding a good return on their money. So the gold lender of Babylon. 50 pieces of gold. Never before had Rodan, the spear maker of old Babylon, carried so much gold in his leather wallet. Happily, down the king's highway from the palace of the of his most liberal majesty he strode. Cheerfully, the gold clinked as the wallet of his belt swayed with each step. The sweetest music he's ever heard. So I'm gonna set the tone here. We have good morning, big bro. So right now what we have is we're introducing two new characters, Rodan and Mathan. So this chapter of the book is called The Gold Lender of Babylon. So to set the tone or to set the stage, Rodan has just made like pretty much like a futuristic and or technologically advanced spearhead. And we're talking technologically advanced, not literal in the sense, but like really, really good quality stuff. and he presented it to the king, and the king loved his design. So he paid him 50 pieces of gold. So Rodon is walking down the street. He feels the weight of the gold in his pocket swaying from left to right. He's super excited about it, and he's like, what should I do? So he goes to Mathan, who's the lender in Babylon, and Mathan is obviously a lender in Babylon. So he went there to ask Mathan, as a lender, pretty much like, I need some advice. I've never had this much money in my pocket before. What should I do with it? And Mathan was deeply, 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 deeply honored, because he said, most men come to me because of their mishaps, or they're pretty much like their fault. Like they're making bad decisions. They need a loan. They need gold, or they need to start a business, whatever it may be. But you come to me for advice. I'm deeply honored. I'm deeply pleasured. So then he orders his slave to pretty much bring Radon his finest wine. He's his honorable guest for the evening, etc., etc., so they can have this conversation. So he went to seek, which is actually one of the laws of keeping gold, right? I think it was law number 3. If you have gold and you seek men who also have gold, or wise men who have gold, to figure out how to create the biggest return on your investment, then you shall be blessed with more gold. So and then so they go through a series of conversations or dialogues, and then they come to this part of the book. Excuse me. So because he was much pleased with the design, I did submit to him. For a new point on the spears of the royal guard, he did present me with 50 pieces of gold, and now I am much perplexed. I am beseeched each hour the sun doth travel across the sky by those who would share it with me. So in other words, Rodon is saying, I am exponentially surprised about those people who I've pretty much told the story to, who would like to share this gold with me, right? This is natural. More men want gold than have it, and would wish one who comes by it easily to divide. But can you not say no? Is thy will not as strong as thy fist? And this is Mathan talking to Rodon, the man who just got all this gold from the king. To many I can say no, yet sometimes it would be easier to say yes. Can one refuse to share with one sister to whom he is deeply devoted? Surely thy own sister would not wish to deprive thee of enjoying thy reward. But it is for the sake of Aramon, her husband, whom she wishes to see a rich merchant. She does feel that he has never had a chance, and she beseeches me to loan to him this gold, that he may become prosperous merchant and repay me from his profits. My friend, resumed Mathan, 'tis a worthy subject thou bringest to discuss. Gold bringeth unto its possessor responsibility and a changed position with his fellow men. It bringeth fear lest he lose it or be tricked away from it. It bringeth a feeling of power and ability to do good. Likewise, it bringeth opportunities whereby his very good intentions may bring him into difficulties. So pretty much, Radon has a sister. So he's questioning his moral etiquette or his moral compass of, this is my sister. I'm deeply devoted to her. This is my family, family over everything. Should I give this money to her? Give this money to her so she can give this money to her husband, so that her husband can go out and pretty much become a wealthy merchant and then pay me back, right? Or pay Rodon back. And so Mathan's response is that when you come into money, and this is true fact, when you come into money, different responsibilities, come upon you. So you have to respond to people differently. You have to figure out how to respond to people. You have to figure out how to make smart investments. You have to figure out, who to give your money to if you're going to be lending it to people. And you have to be selective in the way that you do this. And that is part of the blessing that you get with having money. So I think these are all very important things to think about. So if you are listening in, I think it's something to take note of, because this same philosophy or this same concept of thinking the idea of earning money comes all the way through. People say they want to be millionaires, but they're not prepared for the responsibility that comes with being a millionaire. They're not prepared with the emotional static that comes with it. They're not prepared with the attention that you might get with having it, and how to cope with that and balance, your spiritual, your physical, and your relational lifestyle all in one swoop. So it's like really important to be mindful and to think your thoughts all the way through, and not just to want for things, right? This farmer, so then he tells a story, and this is a really powerful story, and it's very true, because we have to be careful, and we have to, I think it's important for us to treat ourselves, especially if we've been working so hard. But when it comes to like loaning money, we should be, definitely very generous, but at the same time we have to be very mindful. Did you ever hear the story about the farmer of Nivana who could understand the language of animals? I wot not, for 'tis not the kind of tale men like to tell over the Broncaster's forge. I will tell it to thee, for thou shouldest know that to borrowing and lending there is more than the passing of gold from the hands of one to the hands of another. All right, here we go. The farmer who could understand what the animals said to each other did linger in the farmyard each evening just to listen to their words. One evening, he did hear the ox bemoaning to the ass the hardness of his lot. I do labor pulling the plow from morning until night. No matter how hot the day, or how tired my legs, or how the bow doth shaft my neck or chafe my neck, still must I work. But you are a creature of leisure. You are trapped within a colorful blanket and do nothing more than carry our master about where he wishes to go. When he goes nowhere, you do rest and eat green grass all day. So this is an ox who pulls the plow through the dirt all day long, and an ass or a jackass, right? Who the owner rides, or the farmer rides around wherever he wants to go. And the ass is saying, well, I work so hard, I'm tired, and and I want to rest. And he's venting to his buddy the ass. So now the ass, in spite of his vicious heels, was a goodly fellow, and sympathized and sympathized with the ox. My good friend, he replied, you do work very hard, and I would help ease your lot. Therefore, will I tell you how you may have a day of rest. In the morning, when the slave comes to fetch you to the plow, lie upon the ground and bellow much, that he may say you are sick and cannot work. So the ox took the advice of the ass, and the next morning the slave returned to the farmer and told him the ox was sick and could not pull the plow. Then said the farmer, hitch the ass to the plow, for the plowing must go on. All that day, the ass, who only intended to help his friend, found himself compelled to do the ox's task. When night came and he was released from the plow, his heart was bitter, and his legs were weary, and his neck was sore where the bow had chafed it. The farmer lingered in the barnyard to listen. The ox began first. You are my good friend. Because of your wise advice, I have enjoyed a day of rest. And I, retorted the ass, am like many another simple-hearted one who starts to help a friend and ends up by doing his task for him. Hereafter, you draw your own plow, for I did hear the master tell the slave to send for the butcher were you sick again. I wish he would, for you are a lazy fellow. Thereafter, they spoke to each other no more. This ended their friendship. Canst thou tell the moral tale to this story, Rodan? 'Tis a good tale, responded Rodan, but I see not the moral. So tomorrow we'll get into the moral of, well actually, no, I'll just say that. I'll just finish. I thought not that you would, but it is there and simple too. Just this: if you desire to help a friend, to do so in a way that will not bring thy friend's burden upon thyself. So pretty much be prepared. As you manifest, I think the biggest pull from this is as you manifest a reality to you that blows you away, absolutely blows you away. When you find yourself in the greatest amount of abundance, blessings are pouring and showering all over you, and the person you want to be, you're bursting through, the seams, and you're exceeding and you're excelling in this person that you're going to be, this woman you want to be, this man that you are. You're bursting onto the scene. You're enjoying the successes and the pleasures and the great emotions that come with it. When you manifest the reality of super duper wealth and you experience, you're making, all this money and everything is going well, and you're enjoying the emotional feeling and connection that you have with it. And you, and you're coming into this zone as your environment starts to change around you, and the people, don't, just be mindful and be wary of those you lend money to, and try not to judge people, obviously, but try to figure out some type of collateral system. Be mentally, pay attention to the signs that come. Don't feel anxious, don't feel overly generous, but if somebody asks you, maybe take a step back, take some time to think about it, and then execute. And it'll all come to you naturally. It definitely will. And just act from a place of abundance, I feel. And then, but also make sure that you protect yourself. Don't put yourself in a strenuous hardship position in order to help somebody else who you call family or you call friend. And make sure that you are always good. If you are always good and you are always happy, then you will be able to continue to produce and allow for these great blessings to come through for you, which will eventually, allow you to gift or to lend, and find some type of investment system when it comes to making your money make money for you, right? So with that being said, we are coming to the end. I know I say this pretty much every day because I'm pretty excited. With 13 days left of the journey to greatness, we're going to be ending year 1 here. So with that being said, to everybody who jumped on the messenger board this morning, good morning. Everybody who's watching at home and may have thrown a like on the like counter, thank you so much and good morning. I will see you all tomorrow at 5 a.m. I hope you all have the best day of your life today, and you enjoy the rest of the day. Peace.